Okay, all good. So guys, I'm here to present, essentially talking about challenges, okay? And the reason I'm basically here to share it is because it's something that's helped us grow our business from what I'm going to show you. The journey's been a fairly interesting journey and at times a very challenging one, but it's been something that's like basically evolved our business to something greater than I ever thought it probably would be. Okay, so for us, for me, I'll say us because my wife's here in the audience here as well, and it's just been, something super special that has helped us change lives, but also create a life that we absolutely love and we enjoy, and we get to do some amazing things along the way. So if I can share a little bit of our journey and help anybody in the room, I absolutely love to be able to do that and bring you guys a little bit of value. And a lot of the stuff that we talk about too will apply to even just PTs when you're working one-on-one with clients. Can I just ask, who here has a facility? Does anybody have a gym? Yeah? All right, who's running challenges? A couple people? All right, awesome. Who would like to be able to, like if you're working with clients at the moment, who would like to get more clients, or secondly though, probably more importantly, earn more money in less hours in your week? Is anyone in that boat? All right, cool. So let's have a look. So I'm here to help if I can. So it's really common to see trainers that struggle in our industry. And I started out at Fitness First with a I think I was one of 22 coaches at the time in Wollongong, where I'm from. And there was a lot of people there that I saw that didn't, or struggled to get a client base, but then they left the industry pretty quickly as well. And when I think about what we do, another big aspect of it is, who knows people that don't like what they do for work? Yeah, everybody does, right? And doesn't that fucking suck? Like, you know, to see people go through their day, they spend like a third of your life at work, right? And how shit is it to see people go through their life doing something that they don't enjoy? So I have this really strong belief that we are super, super lucky to be in the industry that we're in, to be in the fitness industry, and to be able to change lives for the better. And we're in a lucky position, and we should be grateful for that in terms of what it can do for us. So I'm here to share some of my experience, how we've built and evolved our challenges, and our business is now generating over $1 million a year as a result. So, which is, like I said before, years ago, that was just a dream for me. And it's a pretty interesting journey where we started doing challenges quite a few years ago. And before I knew it, without actually being as much of a business owner as I ever was, we were generating like 700 grand a year, for example, just because of the flow-on effect that this had. So it's been pretty special for us. All right. So I started as a PT at Fitness First in Wollongong, just south of Sydney, 8 years ago. I was managing a cafe at the time, and I was thinking about getting into PT because I was a soccer player, and I started to study and I enjoyed it. And my boss said to me at the time, he goes, "Look, man, I reckon you should maybe just do part-time, stay at the cafe, keep managing here, play safe sort of thing, so you've still got income." And I was like, no, fuck that, I'm going 100% all in. Because as we all know, if you really want to succeed in something, do we need to go half-hearted and be really cautious, or do we have to fully invest ourselves 100%? So basically they talk about burning the boats, for example, the story where they went to war and they took boats over the war, and they basically were fighting an army much greater than themselves. And what's one way we can guarantee that we're going to win? When they got there, they burned the fucking boat, so they couldn't get back. They had no choice but to win the war to succeed. And it's a similar approach that I've used to help. So we've got a gym now, over 600 members, a team of 10 coaches, couldn't be happier, and really never really looked back. So there's a little bit more client base, etc. So when I started at Fitness First, I actually managed to set a national record for PT sessions. In the first 4 weeks I was there, I sort of got up to 37 sessions paid per week in only 4 weeks. Did a lot of groundwork before that, but it was it was a pretty decent growth. But then the problem started to come, well, how can I grow more? I was sort of, the old time for money trap where you're just working with clients, for example, and you just can't work with more and more clients every week, or you have no life, you have no time to train yourself, you don't sleep, etc., etc. So that's where this came in for me. So I started doing outdoor boot camps, but this is where it started. On a Saturday morning with 5 people, and it was like my wife, and it was my cousin and my brother and a friend, for example. No one was even paying anyway, so it wasn't really getting me too far. We didn't have any equipment, but then I invested, bought a little bit of equipment, and literally started with a couple of medicine balls, kettlebells, in a little station wagon from my mum's house, drove down to the beach. I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this, right? There's one of my earliest sessions, probably 5-6 years ago. Okay, so literally a couple of kettlebells and medicine balls, all it was. So the first challenge, it came about as a desire to help motivate our members. But I remember the day I decided to run our first challenge, and I was driving down to our location down at the beach there where we train, And I went past our competitor that was on the corner, and they own the market in Wollongong where we're from, right? And I drove past them, and they had this massive turnout. There was like 100 fucking people there. I'm like, what the fuck? And I drove down to our spot. It was like 10, like, yeah, hey, how are you? Right? And nobody was like really pumped to be there. And like, I was trying, I was putting in work, but it just wasn't having the effect I wanted to have. So I was like, okay, we did the session. I went home like, what can I do? What's something that I could help to get people more inspired, to get better results with everybody, to have more fun, etc., etc. And I literally locked myself in an office, and for a couple of days, just started writing this program. All right, we're going to set goals. We're going to do this nutrition. This is going to be the training. This is going to be the support network. This is going to be, etc., etc. And just started to put together, like, literally, if you think about what gets your clients results, okay? And if you talk about different types of clients as well, because everybody learns differently, everybody needs different ways of communication and stuff to get results. So what I tried to do is like package all these different things that get people results and put them all together. So that way, a lot of people will be able to get great results from the program, right? So teamwork aspect, etc., was massive. Okay, so our first ever challenge. Okay, so this was done down at the beach. Okay, my wife and I did skin folds for people with like paperwork flying everywhere, trying to pinch people's fat, like down at the beach where there's people like having picnics and shit next to us, and like our professional setup, was this. Okay, our after photos were done. Nat had a cafe at the time, and we used her cafe for the after photos. And see the quote at the top there? I want you to really take that in. It's not a matter of the resources, it's being resourceful with what you have. Because too many times people come up with excuses, oh, I don't have that, I don't have the team, I don't have the gym, I don't have the knowledge, I don't have the power, etc., etc., etc. But it's all bullshit at the end of the day. Like if you really want to help people and you really want to succeed and you really want to grow a business, you will find a way. Yeah, does everybody agree with that? Yeah, cool. So after photos, yeah, it was unprofessional as fuck, and that's the technical term. I don't know what that was. So yeah, very... Any idea what that is? Okay. So another thing up there as well is I also had like fairly limited knowledge. I've been in the industry for a couple of years, but I'd only just started doing courses, for example, and I wasn't by no means the most knowledgeable trainer out there. But I used these strategies, for example, kept putting them together, created the program, and guess what happened? The results were absolutely next level. I'd never seen anything like it. Okay, people stepped up, people worked together, people were more pumped to come to training, people trained harder, people did all sorts of shit to get, and just got awesome results. And I was like, fuck, this actually worked. Like it worked really well. Okay, plus the community aspect that came with it as well, where everybody all of a sudden was like working together. So it was like, we put all those steps in place, and it had a really, really great effect. So here's a few results. Some of the guys, girls, etc., from some of our earlier challenges. That's me. I got a 10 along the way as well, by the way. But I try and jump in and be involved with the guys as well, and lead from the front, as they say, practice what I preach type thing. Some more results there. And then this is another one of our clients who, another good point, like with the challenges, and someone touched on it before, is like you can feed through as well, where she did a challenge, lost a lot of weight, went on to be one of my clients to compete and win a bikini show. So, but it started from just a general challenge, okay? So as a result, off the back of that, it basically enabled us to be able to build enough of a client base and bring enough income into the business to actually open a facility. And that was basically off the back of doing challenge, because it wasn't really happening before. We weren't there yet, So this, because we started to attract more numbers, it was like, okay, I had the confidence to go and invest and open a facility, knowing that we'd have some members that would come and sign up straight away, basically, and I wasn't going to, lose all my money type thing. So that built that. There's our first gym. So that's 5 years ago, I think. A warehouse with a rack, with a barbell, with a few dumbbells. I did a bit of CrossFit back in the day. Don't judge me for that, please. But yeah, that's all it was. It was like pretty basic. Threw some matting down and stuff. But at the time, again, it wasn't about having the best equipment. It wasn't about having, all the shiny new shit, for example. It was just about putting in work. It was about getting results. It was about servicing clients' needs, right? And I look back and I almost laugh now, like in terms of where we are. But back then, it's all I knew. It's all we had. So you just make do with what you have at the time, okay? All right, a few years of hard work. We evolved our challenge. I'll go into a little bit more what we do these days and how it's really grown to be something really, really special. But this is now where we are. So our new facility, we've been in that for about 2 years. It's more than double the size of the last one. We've shipped equipment from all over the world to be in there. We've got infrared saunas, in-body scanners, a team of 10 coaches, high-performing, all almost booked out, for example. It's like a dream facility, basically, like in my eyes anyway. Okay? And it's just been a slow and steady growth and progress over that. So here's some of the things that we do to help improve the success of our challenges, okay? And again, remember, this doesn't have to be just in context of a challenge as well. You can do this in a small group scenario. You can do this with your PT clients, for example, whatever you need to do to service them a little bit better. But we'll run an info night. I'll get people together. We promote our challenge, for example, get people to come along. Because what's one of the hardest things, and I don't know if you guys find this, one of the hardest things is to get people actually through the door. So we talk a lot about sort of making connection online, for example, but does anybody else find that getting people through the door is a bit of a challenge with and actually meeting you face to face? So yeah, for us, the information night's been really valuable, where we can just come along, have a listen to what it's all about, for example, and then if you want to take part, then go for it, okay? So testimonials and transformation pictures, we all know they're super powerful. Who here gets good transformation photos and testimonials from clients at the moment? Yeah? All right, cool. Who could probably get more? Yeah, all right, awesome. But I'll never forget a few comments that I had from people, and it might be like 12 months down the track or even 2 years later, and someone will see me out and go, oh, I never forget seeing that transformation of that person, for example. And like to have that strong of an impact on somebody, I think it's good to realise how powerful that can be. And we talked about it earlier today about proving your ability to get the result. Word of mouth, so reputation for results. We've built up a fantastic reputation for getting results. And I love it because people will post on social media. Sometimes they go, I need a gym. Will somebody recommend a gym? And people, you know what people write? Like some people will write, definition of fitness, it's expensive, but they fucking get results. And I don't mind that. Like, it's okay. I don't want to be, like we said, I don't want to be the cheapest person in the, and try and be, and sell the cheapest possible service we can. Like, I guarantee if you come in the door and follow the program, you will get fantastic results. That's our position in the market, right? I don't want to compete with Anytime Fitness and every single gym that's on the corner because we're saturated. I think we're in a 5K radius. We've got 50 gyms within our radius. It's incredible. So it's like, okay, what can we do? And yeah, going above and beyond. So we run a marketing plan leading into the event, producing social media content, for example, and then retargeting people with some ads about it. Tag to Win competition has worked pretty well for us as well, where we literally get a few thousand people so people can win free entry into the challenge. It's like tag your friend and you and your friend can both win, and it's worth like $1,800, for example. They get tagging, we end up with a few thousand people, and then we go in and we inbox all those people, say, hey, thanks for your interest in our challenge, for example. I'd love to offer you X, an early bird discount, or I'd love to offer you something as well. That's just a nice little strategy someone taught me that's worked pretty well for us. And you just, obviously they've engaged with you, they're interested, and then, if you've got a decent offer, you can maybe help them there. Add an extra week of education and upskilling. So this is, okay, so here's how we run our program now, because like I said before, we don't do skin folds down the beach anymore, by the way, all right? We've, upskilled and evolved a little bit from that, but we laugh about it now, but it was true. So we'll go through a fair bit with everybody. Now, with our challenge, for example, Hayden gave me a really nice intro before, and he said like it's something a little bit different and probably one of the better ones he's ever seen. And in my eyes, the main reasons for that, one, the amount of effort that go into it, but two is just the years and years of doing them and seeing what works and getting feedback, for example, and continually evolving as well. And there's not been a single one that we've done, and we do 2 a year, that stays the same. So I think that process of evolution is like, okay, how can I help somebody further? This person dropped off. Why did they drop off? What could we have done? A high level of accountability some way. How can we keep people on track? How can we make them enjoy it more? Like, don't you think all of our clients deserve to enjoy their training and their journey more? Yeah? So, there's a lot of stuff up here. If anyone's got any questions at any stage, feel free to let me know as well. But so we'll go through a seminar on the first night where we'll do scans, we'll do blood pressure, heart rate, and a fitness test with everybody. And then we go through everything in the program. I want to make sure that everybody's super clear on the process, right? And we used to do a 12-week challenge, and then we just expanded to being a 13-week one because I found I wanted everybody to hit the ground running and understand nutrition, understand training, understand our culture, understand the mindset aspect that we've now actually included with it as well, and not be like a week in going, oh fuck, I don't know what to do here food-wise, for example. It's like we want them to win, so how can I support them to win? And it's just continually going back to them. okay? So yeah, I'll go through goal setting with the guys. What we do now, so our challenge now is a 13-week mind and body transformation challenge. And it's the first time, we just finished one actually on Friday night. We had an awards night where we celebrated our winners. And what we do now is, this is from personal experience, I've found that there's a lot of people who need more help and support around the mindset aspect of things and the mental health side of things in life. And I don't know if anybody can resonate with that. Does anybody? Yeah, I know Craig Harper was here this morning, and he's like absolutely incredible when he talks about mindset. And so I've basically saw a need to support people more in that. Because why? If you change somebody's mindset and their beliefs and their identity, for example, the way they identify themselves, do you need to worry if they're going to stick to their nutrition plan to get a fat loss result? Usually not. You make grassroots, like deep change in that person's life, the other stuff looks after itself. Yeah? And again, who here, like we can all probably agree that some people have a negative connotation to challenges where you just crash diet people. It's like, oh, fuck, see you later. All the best with that. You know, and most of them will rebound harder and gain the weight back. There's even research on it as well. A lot of people don't have trouble losing weight, it's keeping it off. So how can we make lasting change, sustainable change in people's lives that lasts much longer than just 13 weeks? And that's what it's all about. And I think when you're focusing on an ethical journey for people and you're basically being very like open and honest with what you want people to get out of it, it makes a complete difference to just, hey, come do my challenge, for example, I'll get you shredded, get a photo, and then you can go, type thing, okay? So yeah, so what we do now, we've got journals that we give everybody. We get people to start practicing morning gratitude. I want you to journal a few things down, journal some thoughts. We create, or help people create, daily affirmations. So it's like, who do you want to be? What do you want to be in your life? Like, not just in this challenge, in your business, in your work, in your relationships, in your family, for example. And so in their first week, they're waking up in the morning, they're writing affirmations. I am strong, I am fit, I am healthy, I am capable, I'm successful, I make money, and lean, whatever it might be. But the changes that makes in people's lives, their subconscious over time, is incredible. Remembering that the most important person we ever listen to is the conversation we have with ourselves, right? So we work on that with people. We try and help them improve those things. Commitment frames. So when we do these seminars, we've got a big group of people, for example, and I will get the guys to basically make a commitment to me, but to the other people in the room, to their teammates, for example, that they're actually going to put in the work and do what needs to be done. Okay, so just like layering different things that can help people succeed and stay on track. Because we know life gets busy, it's very hard to stick to a really solid goal for long periods of time. Yeah, has everybody experienced that? Like falling off the wagon, whether it be with business, with work, or with a high-end fat loss goal, for example, or fitness or strength goal, for example. So how can we help that? All right, culture. So culture is a massive thing that we try and work on within our team. Whenever anybody comes to our gym, that first interaction is super important, that they understand that it's not just a 24-hour gym. Like, we basically take pride in our facility the way I would my home. And when people come in, it's like pristine, for example. They're done, everything's in order, and all those little things. Because if we leave it a mess, what are our members going to do? They come in, they don't give a fuck. They'll just throw it on the floor. That's just how it is. So all these things we sort of try and really work and help people join that culture and understand what it's like from the get-go. And why else is that important? Because for us, who likes working with clients that don't listen to what you say, don't follow the plan, don't get results, don't really give a shit about training? Like, are they fun to work with? Fuck no. Okay, so sometimes if you can weed those people out a little bit, it's going to make your life a little bit easier, and you're going to get more energy back from working with those people rather than being energy vampires and just draining you all day long. Yeah, because everyone experienced that. Work with people that just drain your energy all day, and we don't want to be there. Motivation, mindset work. So we've got a mindset coach now. One of the guys, I've used to work at Base Gym in Sydney with Australian Strength Coach. He's a strength coach, but he's also a mindset coach, studied NLP and a whole heap of other things. So I'm like, hey, you've got an awesome skill set. Do you want to work with us? And now he does mindset seminars for these guys along the way. He does them for our team as well, but upskills them around that, which has been like a game changer. And like I said, we just finished up a challenge the other day, and the feedback that we've been getting from the effect on people's lives, it's, you know what it's been? It's been like, my confidence has changed, my anxiety is gone, I'm happy to wake up every morning, I've got so much more energy, and I lost 15 kilos. It's like the weight loss is a byproduct, which is fantastic. Like, you know, it's almost there. It's not the most important thing anymore, which is something else we try and work with the guys on. It's not just about how you look. It's not about how you, what the number on the scales. Okay, there's so much more to life, being happy, being healthy as well. And as coaches, I think we have a responsibility to help people with that, because I'd have thought a little while back, and I'm like, social media gives people a lot of insecurities and creates a lot of issues in our society, right? Then also sometimes challenges, etc., things like this can fuck people up too. So I said to myself, am I contributing to the problem, or am I having a positive effect on going the opposite way and helping people? And that's why we've gone down this road a little bit more with the mindset and the support side of things too, because who here wants to be contributing to the problem? I fucking don't. You know what I mean? I want to be making a positive difference in people's lives, and and going down that, because that lights me up at the end of the day and it helps other people. A letter to self. We get people to write. This is a really interesting experience. I don't know if anybody's ever done this, but write a letter to yourself in 13 weeks' time, in the past tense. So you commit, I have completed this, I have changed this, I have improved in this way, etc., 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 and it's all written as if it's already done. Some of the things I've seen come out in these letters, people forget what they wrote, and they open at the end and they just start crying. It's like, what happened? And they're like, all these things, positive changes in my life outside of the gym, with my family, with my kids, with my partner, etc. It's all come true. It's like, so it's a pretty powerful experience. Accountability partners, we pair people up together so they can have somebody. So it's like, if you guys are in the room, find somebody who's got similar goals, for example, and I want you to commit to each other. You're going to hold each other accountable. If you're not turning up to training, for example, if you fall off the wagon, they're going to help each other a little bit as well. So we encourage the team culture to start to blend together there. Team building exercises as well, and stuff like that. Where are we? There we go. I think. Oh, this battery's running low, Hayden. Just want to make sure it doesn't. Is there a charge on that? Okay, that's one of our seminars starting off. We get everyone together. So what we do in this first week, so Monday night we do the seminar, get everybody together, have a really good chat, set a really good tone for the entire process, and then we do strength testing with the guys. So we'll take them through some big lists, for example, just so we can set a standard, I guess, where we focus on performance, yeah? So it's like, we used to say to people, if you want a strength test, you can strength test. If you've got strength goals, come and strength test. And some people would turn up. But now I'm like, no, everybody should come and strength test, because we don't want you to get lighter and weaker, right? We want you to get stronger. We want you to feel more empowered at the end of this. If we can get you leaner and stronger, fuck, that's an awesome result. So we straight away start to impact how much we prioritize strength, so that through the program we focus on that as well. Everyone knows that performance is super important, so we try to help them focus on that as well. Wednesday night, nutrition seminar. So this is when I go through the guys and really deep into nutrition. I go a lot into flexible dieting with our guys as well to try and educate them. And I've got on there, I think I wrote, I actually talked to them about why I don't like meal plans as well, how they can be restrictive, how they can they don't educate people really. It's like, I want everybody we give people meal plans and macros so they can flexible diet and stuff, and I try and empower them with more tools to make their nutrition and their health and fitness journey more enjoyable and work for them rather than the other way around as well. So nutrition Thursday night, we'll go through a mindset seminar, and that's where our mindset coach will come in and go in detail into some really special things. I think Craig went through some limiting self-belief stuff this morning. So similar to some of the things you might have heard today, which has been fantastic as well. Achieving goals, awareness of people's thought patterns, self-sabotage, all these sorts of things. And it's actually, really, really special. So we've also got an accountability group. We put everybody together in a group so we can keep in touch with them fairly regularly and just touch base. Weekly goal setting. So we get everybody to set little goals for the week. It's like, all right, this week, what are you going to commit to doing that's going to move you towards the greater goal? So we've got our big goal. All right, and then what can you do? Is it just hit your step target for the day, get a bit of cardio done, etc., etc.? What is it? And we follow them up. The team aspect. So we've got basically people can choose. You can do a bodybuilding program, a strength one, or a fat loss one, and then we put them into little teams from that. Celebrating people's success, weekly winners. I think it's really, really cool to be able to celebrate people's success, especially on a platform in front of other people. And if we've got, say, 150 people doing a challenge, and we give them social recognition, for example. People really like that, right? They respond really well to it. What else does it do? It builds their confidence, okay? So I think that's something really, really cool. For clients, shout outs, for example, recognizing their results, all those sorts of things are fantastic. Little social events, etc. Sharing your journey with them, being authentic. This is something that, like I said before, I jump in on board with a lot of the guys and train with them or share some stuff. So if I'm running a challenge at the time, something challenging comes up for myself, I might just film a video on something mindset related or something that's going to help them, and put it in the group, for example, and just try and share some of my journey as well. Because you guys would all agree, being in the industry and being business owners, etc., there's fucking challenges. There's big challenges all the time. So I never want anybody to think, like, and even right now that I'm up here going, oh, this is what you should do because I'm sort of on a different level or anything like that. It's like, no, I'm with you guys on the same journey, just trying to improve and get better and help people. We're together on this. And it's the exact same way with the challenges, right? It's like your clients, your members, whatever you call them. It's like you don't want to be, in my opinion, I don't want to be too much of an authority figure where it's like, yeah, I'm cool, I train hard, all my shit's sorted, I'm motivated all the time. I want to be as real as I possibly can with these people and really show vulnerability. Because it builds respect and it lets them know that, yeah, they're not alone as well. Okay, I don't want to isolate them more than they have to be. If we can include them, it's definitely going to help. Awards night, after party, professional after photos, etc. Give out some prizes and whatnot. These are something that's helped us a lot. Yeah, building a team. So having a team behind us to run these obviously helps a lot. Working very closely with them to create that good culture and stuff has helped us take it to another level now. So leadership development, this is a realization that I had a few years ago. And basically I was building a team and I was like, oh, this person's not performing and that person's not in the right headspace, blah, 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 blah. But you know what, at the end of the day, is everything in our lives is our own fault. And I think when that penny dropped for me, like my life changed. Because you take back all your power. You take control of every single thing. So all the fucked up things, they're your fault as well. All the good things, they're your fault too. So how can you focus on the good things and build more and create more of those things and attract more of those into your life and stop just blaming other people? So extreme ownership, and that's when the game changed for me basically. Keeping people engaged, and that's regardless of whether they're training with you for a challenge or just in general. Like sometimes it's hard to keep people engaged all the time. You know, if they've been training with you for a little while, for example, how do we do that? But yeah, following up with people that don't attend, etc. How we can help, going above and beyond is basically, it's one of our values of our business. We go above and beyond for our clients. So how does that look? And I was like, well, it depends. You know, it depends on the person. It depends on what they need, for example. So we've got a pretty strong system of values that we all work towards, and that helps. Meaningful connections. That's a massive one that I think has built our whole business, for example. The community aspect of what we do has been something really special, and that's why I think the challenges have helped a lot, because it's brought so many people together rather than just being a room of individuals training. So if you can utilize that, and at the end of the day as well, like if you can build a really good community and a culture, for example, of people who support each other, and for example, and you go away or you're having off days or you're sick or whatever, hopefully they're supporting each other and they're still doing really, really well, even though you're not there at that point in time. And who thinks that's something pretty special and powerful? If you can create that, rather than just constantly having to rely on yourself every single day. Because I'm not motivated every single day. I don't know, are you guys? No, so it's challenging, right? You can't be on it all the time. You can't solely rely on just yourself. So can you create culture and team, for example, around you to help that process? Upskill, learn, evolve. That's been a huge part of my journey over the years, just spending coming to events like this. Obviously, you guys are all here on a Sunday, so full credit to you for taking the time to learn and upskill and stuff. Absolutely awesome. But yeah, the personal development side of this, another thing that rings very true in my mind is that my business is a reflection of me. So if my business is doing well, it's usually because I'm in a good place and I'm upskilling, I'm looking after my own, headspace, for example, and I'm doing the things that I need to do to fill my own cup up and looking after my family, et cetera, et cetera. But if I'm not looking after myself, and usually the business has effects. Anybody ever noticed that? But yeah, I think that's a really powerful thing to remember too. So, spending time on upskilling, et cetera, has been a fantastic post for us. A few numbers, just to give you an idea. So basically we run challenges. We get about 150 people. The cost is about 700 per person, so we generate about 105K, and we do 2 per year. So it's like 200K per year just coming through from challenges. So it's been like a very, very big part of our business. It's really helped us to grow and like I said, improve our facility. So then we can what? We can make our facility better. And you saw our facility before was shit. Okay, it was like literally just mats and a rig. We had some barbells and stuff like that. But how can we really help people if we've got very, very limited space, very limited facilities as well? So by helping more than reinvesting all that, it's been able to grow to something pretty special. Our retention rates are actually Yeah, quite good. With something that we've worked on. And to be honest, this is interesting because before, in the past, we didn't focus on retention too much and our retention rates were much lower. Whereas now, simply through focusing on it, simply through implementing some strategies that I've got up there, for example, that we do, yeah, our retention's been a lot better. And we don't really have to go and chase leads all the time, for example, to try and keep, the gym open and the business open, for example, because, it's helped that way. So what we've done here, for example, so I've created a platinum membership for our members. So it's like once they do a challenge, where do they go from there? And basically there's a program now which gives them like gym access and some classes, for example, mindset workshops and whatnot. But it basically gives them some of what they get in the challenge on an ongoing, like grander scale. So the cool thing now is it's not like I said earlier, it's not, yeah, you've done a challenge, we've helped you a little bit, see you later. It's like, here's an ongoing program where you're still going to get mindset upskilling, you're still going to get accountability, you're still going to get time with the coaches, you're still going to get meaningful connection, etc. So that platinum membership for us has been brilliant in terms of helping support people further. And one of the best things about that platinum membership, for example, is that it wasn't sort of me creating it, it was people saying, what can we do now? How can we stay with you guys? We want more of this stuff, basically, is what people were saying, which is really cool, like the support network, etc. So we created that for them. In order to help our retention, just basically creating a really good offer and helping people stay on board. So now, this is where we're at now. Our business has currently got like over 600 members. We've got a team of 10 coaches, which is really cool. Some of them are only young, like 20, 21, for example, but to see the development that they're making coming up through with us has been fantastic. We work with thousands of people. We've got a strong culture, and it's also provided freedom for my wife and I to have a life that we enjoy, for example. And like I started out saying, like, I don't think anybody deserves to be in a position where you don't like what you do, or you're doing so many hours that you don't have time for yourself and for your own health. And to be in the health and fitness industry and not take time for yourself, for example, I think is a little bit backwards, right? So this has been. It's also allowed us to, expand the gym quite a bit into things like PT mentorships, where we bring other PTs in from around and mentor them, bring in other coaches from the area, for example, and mentor them. We run retreats overseas, so we get sneaky little holidays a couple of times a year over to Bali, which is a nice little part of it. It's a sought after place of employment. It's cool because we get a lot of resumes. People want to work for us because of our results-based reputation and because of our culture, etc., which is a fantastic position to be in. We've been able to automate huge parts of our business as well. So recently, just this year, we just went 24 hours with the gym, and that for us was really cool because it just allowed us to, if somebody called in sick on a Sunday, for example, not have to go to work and actually have a weekend together. Because that work-life balance, I think at the end of the day, is quite important too. So now with our gym being 24/7, it is automated to a point where we were able to reduce our staffing costs, but then also increase our membership and literally almost double it in like a couple of months. So that was a massive step forward for us. So our reputation's obviously grown, results-based facility, etc., generating plenty of leads, and there. All right, so I wanted to give you guys an opportunity just to ask any questions. And I know sometimes in a group, for example, people might be a little bit on the shyer side from asking any questions. But is there anything in there that sparked any ideas or thoughts or questions from anybody in terms of how I might be able to help you with your journey? Yes?
I'm at the moment running like 6-week challenges. One of the things that I talk to my clients a lot is like holidays and scheduling it. And they go, I don't have time for this 6 weeks because Easter is going away.
Yeah.
Obviously, these are quite long challenges.
Yeah.
Did you ever do shorter or longer ones? Or do you just stick to this one, you don't sort of get that?
We've done, I think once we've done a little 6-week shred one, only because we were running a challenge and a lot of people wanted to jump on board and we're sort of already a few weeks in. So I ended up creating a little 6-week shred and we did it at the end of last year. And it worked pretty well as well. But I think from my point of view, I do prefer the longer ones only because the amount of change you can make in somebody's life, does take a little bit longer as well. But there's no reason why you can't implement a lot of that sort of stuff into them as well and keep adding value and just stack a ton of value into it. Yeah. Anybody else, guys?
Yeah.
Yes.
How do you manage bringing people in and then people are already training with trainers? Do they pay the same amount if they're already training with a trainer? What's included?
We just basically set up with a lot of different levels. So if somebody's already training with us, they get a discount into the challenge. If they're doing PT, they can jump in on board for a very small fee as well. And if they're a new member, they pay a much higher rate. But again, I like to include PT clients because it brings that whole culture of everybody in together of a community as well. And again, you know what happens is sometimes if people are doing PT, they might be like, yeah, sort of doing some of the stuff they need to be doing. They jump in on a challenge, for example, and their results improve because of that. Not like a peer pressure effect, I guess. A lot of people don't want to let other people down. So when you're working with one person, it's great, but you work in a community and team and you sort of step up a level a lot of the time. So that herd mentality of wanting to, be a part of what everyone else is doing. If everyone else is working hard, chances are it's going to inspire you to work a bit harder. Yeah.
What about the first week? So you just, for a whole week, you just have something every night?
Yeah. Pretty much it's like over-deliver on value. Yeah. It's like, and people are like, fuck, do we have to come another night? And it's like, yes, there's more stuff. But it's pretty much like if people don't want to come, they can't make a certain night, for example, that's okay. But the goal is to over-deliver on value so that they're like, wow, this is incredible. This experience is completely different to what I thought it was going to be or to what I've experienced before or what I've heard. Does that make sense? Yeah. And like a lot of the promotion for our challenge is done for itself because the word of mouth is so strong in terms of what we deliver. Yeah. Hope that helps, bro. Yeah. Cool. Does anybody else have any other questions or anything you'd like to touch on in regards to the challenge side of things or even just the business aspect in general? Yes, brother.
You guys got like so many people in each of the groups and stuff like that. You mentioned like 150 people.
Yeah.
Do you allocate coaches for accountability? Because I also seen that you have like partner accountability with people that are in that group. But how do you have time to follow up with, do you follow with each individual about how they're going weekly or halfway?
Just in a private Facebook group, we break off into the teams of bodybuilding, strength, and fat loss, for example. There's coaches assigned to each team. So I'm a point of contact, for example, that it goes down to coaches. You look after your team. There's 2 coaches per team. And then they will run a post every week where we encourage people to post their goals. And if they're not posting, then they get followed up. It's like, hey, is everything okay? Have you fallen off track? Like, and the message usually says, how can we support you to keep moving forward? And the cool thing is now that we're doing a lot more like of the mindset aspect as well, it's not just how can I support you to get fat loss. It's like if you're going through a rough time, do you want to come along to this mindset seminar and there might be something in that can help you a little bit. And the results are no longer just about fat loss. The results are about just impacting people's lives for the better. Does that make sense? So that's been a really cool progression. And again, the feedback's been like from our members as well has been, it's been a lot more than just a fat loss challenge, which is really nice. Any other questions, guys? Was there one over there? Yes.
In the journey overall, what would you say has been the biggest challenge you faced and how did you then overcome it?
The biggest challenge overall would have to be, I think I had something in there about developing a team. I think by far, like to be honest with you, my lack of leadership in the past meant that my team wasn't up to standard that I want them to. So I expected them to be at a high standard. And I talk about a high-performing team all the time. Every week in our meetings, I address my guys, we are a high-performing team. But I wasn't acting like it. And I wasn't upskilling myself to a level to be the leader I needed to be to guide them where I want them to be. So just like sitting back expecting, you guys need to do more, but I wasn't doing enough myself. So that realization for me, and then just going out and seeking out mentors and spending a lot of time and effort trying to upskill the way I communicate and the way I can support them and sort of worry a little bit less about myself at times and more about like, why is this person not happy at work? Like, what can I do to make you happier, for example? And that for me was a big challenge, to try and develop myself. And it's just still a journey that I'm working on, but definitely working with a team. But I would happily say that at the moment, the cohesiveness of our team is by far the best it ever has because of the upskill. Yeah, and I've learned a lot of valuable things in terms of, and coming from a background of being fairly, trying to work on your own mindset and stuff and like meditate every day and try and stay calm and shit. Cool, I hope that helps, bro. Cool. All right, done? All right, thanks very much, guys. Thanks for having me. Thanks, brother.